On LCN, we discuss the upheaval brought by construction and answer the question, when will the new improvements be here?
And FBLA has brought new achievements to Lewis County High School.
Soon, we will have a special guest in the studio to discuss civic engagement.
Later, we'll dive into everything that Lewis County High School has to offer, as well as current sports.
LCN News starts now. I'm Zane Stewart.
And I'm Addison Posey.
Coming up is the latest news local to you.
Let's not waste another second. On April 18th, Rotary Interact Club helped locals clean up historic Arnold Cemetery.
Congratulations to Miss Hannah Koger and Miss Becky Markley, who were awarded the recognition of Teacher of the Year and Service Worker of the Year, respectively.
The school's hard work to improve SAT scores has been paying off. We've raised our number of Promise Scholarship recipients to 23.
Recently, our program completer CTE students participated in the NOCTI exam with the chance to gain certifications and college credits.
Prom will be hosted at Stonewall Jackson Resort on May 9th from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Tickets are currently on sale. Get them soon because May 8th is the last day to purchase them.
Deadline to purchase a senior ad in the yearbook is approaching quickly. Make, design, and pay for your ad online before May 1st.
On that note, senior superlatives have been announced. Guess who was elected most involved?
As per usual, Addie and I take home yet another win.
Now let's pass it off to Mr. Most School-Spirited, Cayden Smith, to take a look at FBLA's newest success.
Addison and Zane. I'm Cayden Smith, and I'm here to tell you about what our FBLA chapter did here at Lewis County High School. Right before our spring break, we were able to attend the Spring Leadership Conference down in Huntington, West Virginia, where a lot of our students were able to attend workshops to learn valuable lessons for our futures, compete in competitions where we were successful at, obviously. We brought back 8 state champions in the process, and attend the beautiful closing and opening sessions at the Keith Albee Theater. So let's toss it over to Nathan Barnes to hear about his experience at Spring Leadership Conference.
If you could describe your Spring Leadership Conference in one word, what would it be and why?
For me, I'm going to say networking, and that's more specific for me. I don't think a lot of other people would say that, but my group, we decided to make it a challenge for ourselves to try to talk to as many people from as many schools as possible. So, like, networking and making these connections with other people was a big part of conference for me and my buddies.
That's awesome. That's something I can't say, and that's something I wish I could say.
Yeah.
So what was your greatest takeaway from Spring Leadership Conference outside of networking?
My biggest takeaway, I'd say, is probably presentation skills and improvisational skills and, like, thinking on the fly and thinking on my feet. And, you know, I say that because obviously my presentation was impromptu public speaking. So that was already, you know, thinking on the fly, improvisation on my speech. But there were some other workshops that helped out with you'd go up and just get a topic and present it. And so I think one of the main skills, which I'm probably going to use for the rest of my life, is doing those presentations and thinking on my feet and thinking on the fly and, you know, improving my way through it.
Thank you for your time, Nathan, and we will send it over to the FBLA advisor, Miss Sarah Lough.
And I want to ask you, what does it mean to you to see your students achieve at this kind of level in FBLA?
Watching the students' names be called in Lewis County High School, seeing it up on the board at the state level, what it meant to me was, okay, other people are recognizing what I already knew out of my students and what I have told the students, like, you are capable of this. Now other people can see, yep, they are, and now they know too. It's proof. It's proof that they are talented and wonderful and brilliant.
As we concluded state leadership conference and we're getting ready to go to nationals, what do you expect out of nationals coming up in June?
One of the things I love about nationals is it's not just my students' achievements, but I love to see the community come together and support students going to nationals because it's something very exciting. We're proud to send kids from Lewis County, West Virginia, you know, rural community out there amongst tens of thousands of other students that are like-minded and in pursuit of high education. and high standards.
I want to thank you for your time, and we'll send it back to Zane and Addie in the studio.
Thank you, Cayden. Addie, congrats on your first place win.
Thanks, Zane. State champion has a really nice ring to it.
Easy now.
Hey, what can I say? It was a lot of work. I'd like to give a special thanks to Barbara McVaney, the museum's owner. Without her, this accomplishment would have not have been possible.
To add to that, thanks to our broadcasting teacher as well, Miss Leslie White, for helping make it all happen.
But have you heard what else has been happening?
No, what's up?
We have been under construction since the end of May of 2025.
Oh, so that's why the ceiling's missing.
You didn't know? We had workers climbing in the ceilings.
I'm just glad things are getting fixed. It was a little chilly this winter, and I'm just wanting to know, when will it all be done?
I'm not sure, but Hadley has some more information on the topic. Let's toss it over to her.
Hadley Melton, and as you can see, we've been going under construction here for quite some time, about a year now. We sat down with Keri Lambert, so you can have the inside scoop on what's happening at LCHS.
For the first time in more than 30 years, Lewis County High School is undergoing major construction. Thanks to a $12 million grant from the West Virginia School Building Authority. The school is in a year-long renovation project aimed at improving both the safety and comfort of everyone. Upgrades include a brand new HVAC system, new lighting, ceiling panels, and a fully modernized fire system. Principal Keri Lambert says the project is moving steadily. She has been meeting with the construction team every other week and reports that despite a few minor setbacks, progress has remained strong. Students, teachers, and staff say that they're excited about the changes and are looking forward to the project completion. One of the largest projects for this summer is the installation of a new fire panel system that includes updated sprinklers and smoke detectors throughout the building. Because of the safety concerns, no one will be allowed inside until the fire marshal gives approval. In the meantime, improvements are already making their way. New lighting has been installed across the school, with a dimmer switch to be added in the coming months. This will give teachers more control over their classroom environment. The auditorium lighting is also being upgraded. Specialized spaces are getting attention as well. The Baking and Pastries Lab is receiving classroom drops to enhance the functionality for students. While construction continues, summer school will be held at Robert O. Bland Middle School for the second year in a row.
To move out basically for the summer, and we're going to have to do that again this summer because while some of the construction goes on, we cannot have students and staff in the building. So with that being said, during the summertime when our custodians are prepping and cleaning for the school year and the construction is going on, it limits the amount of time that we have inside the building. So if you've ever been in a school during the summertime when you've got to strip the floors and wax the floors and move in new equipment, that becomes very difficult. It does take us about 6 to 8 weeks to do that, and they were limited to less than 4.
If everything stays on schedule, the renovations will wrap up by August of 2026.
I'm Hadley Melton reporting for LCN.
I'm JP Alkire. These are your news headlines. For the first time, Lewis County High School hosted the Region 8 Band Festival. A total of 17 middle and high schools spanning Barber, Braxton, Lewis, Pocahontas, Randolph, Tucker, Upshur, and Webster came to attend. 5 schools ranked 1s overall, including Lewis County. We would like to extend congratulations to the JROTC for receiving the Distinguished Unit Award with Merit and completing over 2,000 hours of community service. Additionally, for the first time in the program's 30-year history, 10 cadets received flight training from Civil Air Patrol. YLA's Youth and Government Conference was held April 22nd through the 24th. This year, Lewis County had officers and committee co-chairs serve at the conference for the first time since 2019. Reagan Carson served in the governor's cabinet, I was committee co-chair, Kylie Marlowe was committee chair, and Shelby Hamrick served as the press editor. Many of our other members served as representatives in the Senate, House, and 3 students served in the press corps. May is filled with many events for our seniors. Credit recovery must be completed by May 8th. Senior exams will be held on the following Wednesday and Thursday. May 15th is a packed day with makeup exams and the senior award ceremony followed by the senior picnic. Our award ceremony will be held on the 18th. Seniors must wear gowns. The 20th is another packed day with the seniors' breakfast, pictures, and sermon, as well as the elementary walkthroughs. The top 10 dinner and middle school walkthrough will be held on the 21st, and our high school journey will come to an end on the 22nd. Graduation will be held in the gymnasium. Please dress accordingly. And also remember to look out for our senior video made by Kellen. That's all for now, but stay tuned because after this commercial break, Zane will be meeting with Deborah Gump to discuss how you can fulfill your civic duty. Physical Therapy in Weston, the heart of West Virginia, we are dedicated to helping you get back on your feet. Whether recovering from an injury, managing chronic pain, or improving mobility, our caring team offers personalized treatment plans tailored to your needs. With a comfortable, welcoming atmosphere and a focus on compassionate care, we're here to guide you every step of the way. Country Roads Physical Therapy, where your road to recovery begins.
This commercial is brought to you by LCN.
Welcome back to the studio. Now joining us on set is City Councilwoman and Head Civics Teacher, Miss Deborah Gump. I'm happy that you're here today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so everybody in the school kind of knows you as Head Civics Teacher, Deborah Gump. Would you like to elaborate kind of what you do as City Councilwoman, Deborah Gump?
As a City Councilwoman, I represent the citizens. The city is divided into 4 separate wards. I actually represent Ward 3, which is the Civic-Hellville area. 3 others represent the other 3 wards. We have a mayor and a city manager type government. But the main thing I do, I am the voice for the people in my ward. If they have a concern or an issue that they would like to see taken care of, they'll call me, and then I'll try to do the best I can to help get those issues resolved.
So, kind of working for your people that are represented in your small section of Weston, as our high school seniors are stepping out into what everybody likes to call the real world, how important is it for them to be both politically engaged and media literate, and how does that tie in with our government growing more partisan?
The first thing I think needs to happen is you need to be engaged. You need to be an active participant in your government, in your community, caring for the people around you, checking on your neighbors, and just helping to make your community a better place. In today's world, though, however, we do have a lot of partisan politics going on, a lot different than when it was when I was stepping out as a senior. But the main thing I can tell you is you need to be informed. You need to know what the issues are, educate yourself to the issues, especially the issues that affect you in your generation, and just know what the facts are. I mean, when I was in high school, we had 3 news networks. We had ABC, NBC, CBS. We saw them at 6:30 at night on weeknights. Now you have a mass media of information out there. The major news networks, Fox, MSNBC, CNN, as well as your social media outlets that you have. But the important thing is to be active, be engaged, and know where you stand on the issues and where your representatives stand on the issues as well.
Kind of twisting off that, so like a lot of news companies, they want the likes, they want the views, so they're pushing this idea of the partisan, and they're pushing this idea of making other people seem radical and maybe even bending the truth a lot of times. What is one way that you make sure that you're media literate and that you're avoiding getting false information when a lot of these news companies, they just want the views and the likes?
Well, you definitely have to fact check. You have to fact check. You have to be aware of the bias in the information as well. And knowing that what you're looking at is a reliable source. That's a big thing as well. And not only fact check what they're saying, the information you're giving you, but fact check where they stand on issues as well. And disseminate that information. I always encourage my citizens to be educated. And when there's election, go back and see where a candidate stands and see where they voted on the issues that you're concerned about, because that is public record.
So you kind of mentioned all this stuff, and absolutely, I agree. But to be able to be a part of your community, to give back to your community, to be able to be politically engaged, and for the media literacy to even matter, I'm under the belief that the first step really is registering to vote, right? How can the older people in our community and the experienced voters, how can they kind of influence the younger generation to, hey, we want you to pick up a ballot, whether it be left, right, center. We want you to give your voice so that you can be heard. What can they do, and how do they play in all this?
Well, like you said, you need to register to vote. And here at Lewis County High School, we do a voter registration drive that is carried out through the Secretary of State. And of course, our ultimate goal is to get the Jennings-Randolph Award. Senator Randolph was actually from the state of West Virginia, next door in Harrison County, and his push was for giving 18-year-olds the right to vote, because previously you had to be 21, and for 11 times he pushed that legislation in, and some of his mottos for this, or his push to get this changed so that 18-year-olds could vote, was that many 18-year-olds were being drafted into the war. And he said, if you're old enough for bullets, you're old enough for ballots. Old enough to fight, old enough to vote. So it was through his efforts that actually we would begin for the young people, the 18 to 20-year-olds, to be given that voice. And I just think it is very important to vote. As an American citizen, that is your greatest power.
I'm absolutely grateful that, Senator Randolph did get that age drop to 18 so that I can vote in this upcoming election. But as we begin to wrap up here a little bit, what's some advice that you would give to all students in regards on how they can really give back, be part of their community, and with everything we've kind of touched on so far today?
Oh, definitely. Be active, engaged. Be informed. Volunteer. Know what the issues are. Know the issues that not only concern you, but concern our country, our state, our county, and even the city that you live in. Because that is where most of your, the heart of what you're going to see, what you're actually going to live. You're going to live the stuff that you were taught in your civics class. You're going to be real life, that voter, that volunteer, that change. We have so many people that want to get on their social media and criticize, but very few of those people will step forward and help to make that change. And I just encourage all students out there to be that change, to make those changes, the changes you want to see happen. And you do that by casting your vote.
I love that. Thank you so much for joining us on set today, Miss Deborah Gump. Now we're going to be sending it to Isabelle, and she's going to give us more information on Stonewall Country.
Today I'm going to talk about tourism in Weston, West Virginia, a small town with a rich history and unique attractions that bring visitors from all over. Weston, West Virginia is a small but historically rich town that offers a unique blend of culture, heritage, and natural beauty. Known for its well-preserved landmarks and welcoming atmosphere, one of the most famous places in Weston is the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. This historic building was originally opened in the mid-1800s and was used as a psychiatric hospital for over a century.
Hi, I'm Isabelle and I'm here with Keri. We are at the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, and I just want to ask you a couple questions. One, when did it open?
This facility had opened in 1864. So on our gift shop, you guys should be able to take a little picture of that too. But some of the reasons for admission here in the 1800s were reading too many books, working too hard, being too lazy, getting kicked in the head by a horse. If you have asthma, epilepsy, depression, anxiety, little things like that could have gotten you sent here. This building had closed in 1994, so it was open for about 130 years. So they had purchased the building in 2007. They started doing tours around 2008, roughly, I believe. But annually, I can say in October, our haunted house just alone makes up 1/4 of the profit here. So I would say quite a few $1 million a year. Yeah. The max capacity of patients they had at one point was 2,600. This building is the second largest hand-cut sandstone structure in the entire world. Some of the paranormal activity in here in the daytime, we do typically get a lot of doppelganger activity. So it typically means they can look exactly like you and sound exactly like you. So we get a lot of that here in the daytime. Really loud banging noises out here in the daytime as well. And another big thing are smells. You get like cigarette smoke, perfume, baby powder, all kinds of different things that are here too. Some of the TV shows and YouTubers that have been here is Sam and Colby, Call Me Chris and Sling the Spooky Boo, Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters, Portals to Hell, Project Fear, all kinds of different people who have been here.
Another major attraction near Weston is the Stonewall Resort, located just a short drive away. This resort sits next to Stonewall Jackson Lake and offers a completely different experience from the asylum. I'm Keri Detterman. I'm here with
Stephanie Wolverton.
So what is the Stonewall Resort?
Stonewall Resort is a lakeside resort located here in Roanoke, West Virginia. We opened in the spring of 2002.
And what are some of the amenities that they have here?
So some of our amenities are a marina that has rental boats. We also have canoes, paddle boards, and kayaks. We also have a pool that many of our guests love this time of year. We have 3 restaurants here. We have Stillwaters that host all 3 of our dining, lunch, breakfast, and dinner. We also have TJ Muskie's, which is our bar and grill. We also have our seasonal light burns. Our golf course opened just shortly after our resort, and it has 18 holes, and it's a 72 par. Our campground is open year-round. We have 40 spots available, and those are full hookup. So the trails, we have over 18 miles of trails.
Weston, West Virginia may be a small town, but it has a lot to offer. Whether you're interested in history, the paranormal, or outdoor recreation, Weston provides unique experiences that make it a memorable place to visit.
Thank you, Isabelle and Keri. There's something for everyone in Lewis County.
I love to camp and golf at the Stonewall Resort. It's a perfect place to unwind.
I agree, but my favorite part of the resort are the pickleball courts.
No matter what you prefer, our many sporting events are a crowd favorite for everyone. Here's Owen DeBar with more information.
Good evening, LCHS. I'm Owen DeBar with your Minutemen Sports Update. The LC Minutemen went 2-1-1 on their recent games. The Minutemen defeated Gilmer County 6-3 and Clay Battelle 4-1. The Minutemen fell to Grafton 13-1 and are currently tied 5-5 in a weather-suspended game at Lincoln High School. The Minutemen will look to keep that momentum going as they head into the backstretch of their season. Looking ahead to their future games, on April 27th they play at home against Clay County, and April 28th on the road at East Fairmont, and April 30th at Clay Battelle. The Minute Maid softball team is currently 9-7, and at the beginning of the season they were in the top rankings for AAA. The Maids are struggling to get their rhythm with losses against Grafton 7-4, Buchanan 10-1, and Frankfort 10-0, but they had a bounce-back win against St. Mary's 11-7. Softball's back on action April 27th, home against RCB, April 30th on the road against Clay Battelle, and May 4th against Fairmont Senior. Now on to track, where Lewis County competed in the Morgantown Invitational with 15 teams. The Minutemen had standout performances with Tinley Pickens winning the 100, 200 meter dash and placed 4th in the 400 meter dash. And on the boys' side, Brody Skinner placed 6th in the 3200 meter run, breaking 10 minutes. The 4x8 placed 5th, and the 4x4 placed 8th. And finally, tennis is off to a strong start. The boys' team sits at 6th in AAA, and the girls' team is at 10th. The doubles team of Wesley Smith and Devin Carlton led the way with a record of 9-1 and are coming off strong individual and team performances at Big Ten. We will have more tourney coverage during our next broadcast. That's all for your LCHS Sports Update. Stay tuned and keep supporting your Minutemen.
Thank you, Owen.
That's all for today on LCN News. Thanks for watching.
As always, join us next time for the latest news local to you. Peace out, Lewis.